The current event, Bishop, that I want to bring to the attention of those who are in our listening audience, there is almost an unspoken tradition that lives and operates within the episcopacy, where we take great pain not to criticize or make comments about other members of the episcopacy, but of course was an event that took place this week that certainly warrants our attention and our commentary as well. Bishop Darcy, who is the bishop of the jurisdiction in the Diocese of South Bend, went on record this week and reported that he would not attend the graduation ceremonies of the University of Notre Dame. He is doing this as a protest against President Barack Obama. Barack Obama is the invited commencement speaker this year for the University of Notre Dame, and because of the position of the new president as it relates to embryonic stem cell research, Bishop Darcy has taken the position that it is not in the best interests of the church for him to attend and lend his prestige and legitimacy to the event. The reason this is such a major issue that I think it is worthy of our commentary today is that the University of Notre Dame is one of the leading research universities in the country, and as such is a recipient of major federal dollars and support. And permit me to say that from my perspective, I think it's somewhat hypocritical to be a receipt of those dollars, to take advantage of those dollars, those resources, and then what is obviously driven by a political motive, take the position that he will not attend the graduation ceremony. So that is what we want to talk about as it relates to current events today. Bishop, you have a very special guest in our studio today, and I'm sure that our audience is anxious to hear who that is and commence this conversation.
I sure do. I have a good friend and a brother, I call him. His name is Carl DeHenry Jr. He is who serves in the position of a special assistant to the commissioner for Nassau County Department of Social Services, which we're going to come back and talk to him about. Media liaison for the Nassau County Department of Social Services. He also has been named as a member of the Nassau County Minority Health Task Force, which I really want to talk to you about. And he deals with issues relating to the minority community within their health and health care. He is the author of a column entitled Perspectives within the Community Journal newspaper. He's been doing that for the last 7 years. I know him. He has a list of community service type of things listed here, but I know him just to be a great asset to the community and to the St. John's Baptist Church in Westbury, where his pastor is the moderator, Reverend Dr. William A. Watson Jr. And he's a deacon there, which we're excited about. He has a wife, Kimberly, and his 2 children, Carl III and Kayla. And he's a longtime resident of Roosevelt. And I invited you here, Carl, because we were at a program one day and you gave your testimony, and it just blessed me. You talked about fathers, you talked about your family and whatnot, and I just wanted you to come out and speak to our listening audience and share. Tell us a little bit about what you do for the Nassau County Department of Social Services.
Well, I'm going to do something a little odd in my official capacity that I don't get an opportunity to do. As a governmental representative. I'm going to first give all honor to God for all that He's done, for giving us His Son Jesus Christ, and for the comfort of the Holy Spirit. I don't get to do that in my official capacity, so I'm going to cheat a little bit and do that now. And it's never an inappropriate time to do that. Now, what was your question?
What do you to tell us about your job with Nassau County?
My title is I'm Special Assistant to the Commissioner for the Nassau County Department of Social Services. In that capacity, I act as a part of senior staff to assist the Commissioner in overseeing a budget that's approximately $500 million for Nassau County. My official role is to oversee policy-making decisions that we initiate in the department. I'm a community liaison as well. The overall objective of my office is to ensure that the residents of Nassau County who need it can access the Department of Social Services, the programs and the services that we provide. Oftentimes what we find is that it's very difficult to access the system. You always hear folks mention the system and how difficult it is. It's a big system, it's difficult to maneuver. So the objective of my office is to assist those who may need it, who may need the help, to try to get through the system, to get the help that they need. And right now with these times, unfortunately, the way that the times are, we're seeing more and more people come through our doors, and so it's imperative that we assist people to get the help that they need. That's my office.
All right, so you're helping along the way. You help to
Absolutely.
make it much easier for people to access what they need. You are a longtime resident, a native of Roosevelt, are you?
Yes, now I'm actually originally I was born uptown. I was born uptown, and I was my parents, my family were part of the movement of folks that left the city in the late '60s and came to Long Island. And it's so ironic, when I came to Roosevelt, we were one of two black families on our block. And I remember that as a boy. I remember us coming in and folks kind of with their stuff on their back leaving out.
Wow.
But yes, I am technically, I've lived in Roosevelt 41 years.
All right.
41 of my 42 years.
All right. Then that takes me to my next question. We have a joke amongst the ministry leaders and different things. We say, can anything good come out of Hempstead? Because I'm from Hempstead.
I know you are.
Yeah, almost like you, I came to Hempstead about 30 plus years ago. And so, can anything good come out of Roosevelt? We know so because you're sitting here. But I've watched the Roosevelt community take a shift and a turn, and I've seen some awesome things happening. I just read recently that the school was no longer under the care of the state as it was in the past. Share with us the great changes that are happening in your community.
One by one, I actually served on the Roosevelt School Board. I was appointed. I was part of the appointment from the state, and my whole objective, my reasoning for coming into that, and I was actually opposed to it in a lot of ways, but I felt that there was no representative of us, of people who lived in the community, on the board at the time. And the only way to do that is to cross enemy lines and to cross over and to do the things that we need to do to ensure that our communities are getting what we need. There have been some changes. One by one, the appointed seats are becoming elected seats. So the seats are coming back to the community. Right now, the school board, we have some very capable people on the board who are doing a phenomenal job in ensuring that the children in the district are getting what they need. I was a part of that whole wave when we have the new schools coming to the community, brand new schools, brand new elementary schools, brand new junior high school, which is actually across the street from my house. It's a state of the art, and I don't say that lightly. The building is absolutely phenomenal, I honestly feel that our kids deserve facilities that they can walk into with their heads up high, and they don't have to be ashamed of things falling off the wall and the floor falling apart and the gym is in shambles. This is a state-of-the-art facility. I think that we have to get to a point where we feel that we deserve things. I think part of our problem, if there is a problem in our community, that we feel we don't deserve state-of-the-art facilities.
I'm ahead of my time.
Yes,
I believe we deserve all of that.
Absolutely.
Definitely. I'm going to let Bishop Luter throw a question in here, and then I'll come back and ask you some more. Bishop, help yourself.
Sure. Brother DeHenry, it has been difficult for many of us to wrap our mind with comprehension around the stimulus package and all that is going on in Washington, D.C., the crisis of the economy. You're in public office. What do you anticipate will come down from Washington, D.C.? Do you anticipate being a benefactor of the stimulus package? And what will we see on a local level as it relates to your office from Washington, D.C.?
Absolutely, and we actually had a meeting a couple of weeks ago, Bishop, with the governor's office and the Office of Temporary Disability Assistance. We will see, the trickle down. The unfortunate part about the trickle down and the stimulus package is that it's going to take time. By the time we see it really kick in, it's not going to answer for what's taking place right now, and that's the unfortunate part of it. So it's kind of a sweet and sour thing there, where the stimulus package will certainly be beneficial on a local level. It'll trickle down from the federal level to the state level to the local level. Where we'll see programs and get the enhancement and enrichment they need. But unfortunately, as of right now, and if I'm sure you keep abreast of what's going on, you're seeing a lot of little local programs being cut, discretionary funds being cut, youth programs and things that are imperative in our communities, particularly where there's not much to do for our youth. You're seeing those youth programs being cut right now. So